Tiga. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are going to present the VLANs, which is there are definitions of VLANs, VLANs in multi-switch environment, environment, and VLAN configuration, VLAN trunks, dynamic trunking protocol, and that's it. So we're starting from VLAN definition. What is the VLAN definition? Of course, your organization network into smaller network is not as simple as separating screw and putting them in the jar, but it will make your network easier to manage. Virtual LANs or VLANs provide a segmentation and organizational flexibility in a switch network. The group of devices within a VLAN communicate as if each device was attached to the same cable. VLAN are based Film are based on logical connection instead of physical connection. And the factor example is below in here, as shown in the picture. Films is in a suite of network enable users in various departments. So yeah, next. And here, next. So films allow allow an administrator to segment network based on factors such as function, theme, or application. We are regard for the physical location of the user of our device. Each VLAN is considered a separate logical network device within a VLAN act as if they were in their own independent network, even if they share common infrastructure with other VLANs. And a switchboard can belong to a VLAN. Unicast, broadcast, and multicast packets are powered and fluid only to end device within the VLAN, where the packs are sold. Packs are designed for devices that do not belong to the VLAN must be forwarded to a device that supports. Good. Next. Next. Okay. So yeah, the benefits of the VLAN design. Each VLAN in a switches network corresponds to an IP network. Therefore, VLAN design must take into consideration the implementation of a hierarchical network addressing scheme. Hierarchical network addressing mean that IP network numbers are applied to network segments of VLANs in a way that takes the network as a whole into consideration. Blocks of contiguous network addresses are reserved for and configured on the device in a specific area of network, as shown in the figure below. So the picture, yes, in this picture, the table list in benefit design or network in with VLANs. Table benefit and description. Yeah. Okay, and here, next, types of VLAN. So you can see in here, there are default VLAN, data VLAN, native VLAN, management VLAN, and voice VLAN. So default VLAN, the default VLAN on the Cisco switch is VLAN 1. Therefore, all switch ports are on VLAN 1 unless it is explicitly configured to be another VLAN. So yeah, data VLAN, data VLAN. Data VLANs are VLANs configured to separate user-generated traffic. They are referred as user VLANs because they are separate the networks into groups of users or devices. Native VLAN, native VLAN, native VLAN. Yeah. User traffic from a VLAN must be taken with its VLAN ID when it is sent to another switch. Trunk ports are used between switches to support the transmission of packet traffic. Management VLAN. So yeah, a management VLAN is a data VLAN configured specially for the network management traffic, including SSH, Telnet, HTTPS and HTTP and SNMP. By default, VLAN 1 is configured as the management VLAN on the layer 2 switch. Voice VLAN. A separate VLAN is needed to support the voice over IP VoIP. VoIP traffic requires the following below. Also bandwidth to ensure the voice quality, transmissions priority of other types of network traffic, ability to be route around congruous area on the network, delay of less than 150 ms across the network. So yeah, next 3.2, define VLAN trunks. VLAN is not very useful without VLAN trunks. VLAN trunks allow all VLAN traffic to propagate between switches. This enable with devices connected to different switches but in the same VLAN to communicate without going through a router. A trunk is a point-to-point link between two network devices that carry more than one VLAN. A VLAN trunk extends VLANs across the entire networks. Cisco support the triple E 82 1Q for the coordinating trunks on the fast Ethernet, gigabyte Ethernet, and 10 gigabyte Ethernet interface. Next, network without VLANs. When a switch receives a broadcast frame on one of its ports, it forwards the frame out of other ports except the port where the broadcast was received. Next, network with VLANs. VLANs are associated with and configured on individual switch ports. Devices attached to these ports have no concept of VLAN. However, these devices are configured with IP addressing and are member of a specific IP network. This is where the connection between VLAN and IP network is apparent. A VLAN is the equivalent to an IP network. A subnet VLANs are configured on the switch, whereas the IP addressing is configured on the device. Next, 3.3, chapter 3. So yeah, 331. Okay, VLAN range on catalyst switch. Creating VLANs, likely most other aspect network, is a matter of fact to entering the appropriate comments. This topic details how to configure and pair different types of VLAN. So the picture, the switch, yeah, okay. So as you see, this figure illustrates the default VLANs on the Catalyst 2960 switch running Cisco iOS release 15 times. Next. Okay, so yeah, normal range VLANs. These are the following characteristic of normal VLANs. They are used in a small and medium-sized business and enterprise network. They are identified by a VLAN ID between 1 and 1005. IDs 1002 through 1005 are reserved for legacy network technologies, such as token ring and fiber distribute data interface. IDs 1 and ID 1002 to 1005 are automatic, automatically created and cannot be removed. Configuration are stored in switch flash memory in VLAN database called VLAN.dat. When configured, trunking protocol VTP have synchronized the VLAN database between switch. Extended range VLANs. There are the following characteristic of range VLANs. They are used by service providers to service multiple customers and global enterprises large enough to need extended range VLAN IDs. They are identified by VLAN ID between 1006 and 4094. Configuration are saved by default in the running configuration. They are supporting fewer VLAN features than a normal range VLANs. And mostly, they require VTP transparent mode configuration to support extended range VLAN. So yeah, note there is no 4096 is the upper boundary of for the number of VLANs available on the catalyst switch because there are 20 bits in the VLAN ID field of the IEEE 82 and 1.1Q header. So yeah, that's it from me. The next chapter will be presented by our friend here, Muhammad Abiyyu Utomo. You can translate the rest of it.
Okay, Adjie, thank you for your time. Okay, 3.3.2 VLAN creation command. When configuring normal range VLAN, the configuration details are stored in flash memory on the switch in a file called VLAN. That flash memory is present and does not require the copy running config startup config command. However, because other details are often configured on a Cisco with at the same time that VLANs are created, it is got varies to save running. Configuration change to the startup configuration. The table display the Cisco IOS command syntax used to add a VLAN to switch and give it a name. Naming each VLAN is considered a best practice in the switch configuration. Next. 3.3.3 VLAN creation example. In the topology, the standard computer PC2 has not been associated with a VLAN yet, but it does have an IP address of 107.17.20.22, which belongs to VLAN 20. Next. 3.3.4 VLAN port segment command. After creating a VLAN, the next step is to assign ports to the VLAN. The table displays the syntax for defining a port to be an access port and assign it to VLAN. The switch port mode access command is optional, but strongly recommend as a security practice with this command, the interface changes to strictly access mode. Access mode indicates that the port belongs to a single VLAN and will not negotiate to become a trunk link. Next. 3.3.5 VLAN port segment example. In the figure, port F06 on switch 1 is configured as an access port and a set VLAN 20. Any device connect to that port will be assigned VLAN 20. Therefore, in your example, VC2 is in VLAN 20. Next. 3.3.6 Data and voice VLAN. An access port can belong to only one data VLAN at a time. However, a port can also be accessed to a voice VLAN. For example, a port connect to an IP phone and end-device world assert with two VLANs, one for voice and one for data. Next. 3.3.7 Data and voice VLAN example. Use the switchport voice and VLAN interface configuration command to assign a voice VLAN to a port. LANs supporting voice traffic typically also have quality of service. Enable. Voice traffic must be labeled as trust as soon as it enters the network. Use clusters cause device scope on the HTTP IP address interface configuration command to set the trust state of an interface. And to encrypt with fields of the packet are used to classify traffic. Next. 3.3.h verify VLAN information. After VLAN is configured, VLAN configuration can be validated using Cisco IOS show command. The show command VLAN command display a list of all configured VLAN. The show VLAN command and can also be used with option. The complete syntax is show VLAN diff ID VLAN name summary. This the table show VLAN command option example. And the next is a reading of Irfan.
Okay, 3.4.1 trunk configuration command. Now that you have configured and verified VLAN, it is time to configure and verify VLAN trunk. A VLAN trunk is a layer 2 link between two switches that carries traffic for all VLANs. To enable trunks link, configure the interconnecting port with the set of interface configuration commands shown in the table. 3.4.2 trunk configuration example. In the figure, VLAN 10, 20, and 30 support the faculty, student, and guest computer. The fast Ethernet 0/1 port on switch S1 is configured as a trunk port and forward traffic for VLAN 10, 20, and 30. VLAN 99 is configured as the native VLAN. Next, 3.4.3 verify trunk configuration. The switch output display the configuration of switch port fast Ethernet 0/1 on switch S1. The configuration is verified with the show interface ID switch port command. 3.4.4 reset the trunk to the default state. Use the no switch port trunk allowed VLAN and the no switch trunk native VLAN command to remove the allowed VLAN and reset the native VLAN of the trunk. When it is reset to the default state, the trunk allow all VLAN and use VLAN 1 as the native VLAN. The example show the command used to reset all trunking characteristic of a trunking interface to default setting. Next is 3.5.1. DTP is a Cisco proprietary protocol to is automatically enabled on Catalyst 2960 and Catalyst 3060 650 series switch. DTP manage trunk negotiation only if the port on the neighbor switch is configured in a trunk mode that support DTP. Switch from other vendors do not support DTP. 3.5.2 negotiation interface mode. The switch port mode command has additional option for negotiating the interface mode. The full command syntax is the following. 3.5.3 result of a DTP configuration. The table illustrates the result of the DTP configuration option on opposite ends of a trunk link connected to Catalyst 2960 switchboard. Best practice is to configure trunk link statically whenever possible. The last one, 3.5.4, verify DTP mode. The default DTP mode is dependent on the Cisco IO software version and on the platform. To determine the current DTP mode, issue the show DTP interface command as shown in the output.
Yeah, that's it for our presentation with this VLAN. So we are going to close this presentation, and thank you for presentate the metri. Thank you and see you. So assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.